Hi, this is Cecilia from Tarot by Cecilia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of March the 7th through the 13th of 2016. Now, before I even start here, of course, on the 8th, we have a full solar eclipse in Pisces at the new moon. I've been talking about it. I have a video available on it. I have other things available on it. Check it out. This is a very, very powerful time. Now, before I do this reading, I want to say something here because I'm actually kind of chuckling. One of the decks that I occasionally use in my dailies is the Housewives Tarot. And my good friend Raven Talker sent me the deck as a birthday gift back in November. And I hadn't used it yet. And I just, as I went to do this, I was like, we have to get that deck out. We have to use that deck now. I'd been holding off. I didn't want to ruin it because using cards, does tend to wear them down. But anyway, this particular deck, I don't know why, I just felt compelled to pull it out now. It is pretty much a throwback to like the 1950s way of life, that whole Leave It to Beaver era. And there's some really cool cards, and they like I said, they kind of have me chuckling because, you see these things. This is really how life was. So, what's going on this week? Now, I have to tell you, this week is definitely about eliminating, getting rid of, I don't want to grow old this way type of thing. All right. Who has hurt you? Who has done you wrong? What is it that you need to get rid of? It's like you're doing it. You're cutting it away and you're like, I don't want to be heartbroken over this anymore. I'm past it. Just let me move on. So this is a good thing. This is like really coming to terms with all of the things that have gone wrong in the last few years. So I like this a lot. Now, there is also, of course, a lot of attention being paid to things like finances, all right, and home, and the idea of, I like to call it like being down to earth, okay, and staying grounded. This is really a good thing. I think with this coming to terms with the painful things that have happened that are like leaving your life, that you are becoming more grounded. All right. Now, as far as so many of you have been like, for the longest time, where you've put yourself in this kind of like prison. You just couldn't find your way out of it. You're finding your way out. Okay. You are finally finding your way out. And, trust that inner knowing, whether it's a little voice or whatever it is that's telling you that things are going to be okay. Maybe not the way you thought they should be, maybe not the way you thought you wanted them to be, but okay. Now, this is, the best way I can explain it is that I really think that you have a lot more clarity coming in. And you also start to know how to organize, all right? This new life that you're creating needs a different organization than the old life. So how are you going to achieve it? All right, well, I think the clarity comes in, and I think the knowing comes in. Like deep down, what is it you want to do? So you really start to figure this out. Now, I've mentioned for the past few months to everyone that it's the idea of budgeting, all right, and taking care of things. So now there's that, like given to this one, given to that one. How are you going to budget your resources? Not just your money, but your resources. One of your most important resources is your time. Keep that in mind. So you're going to be doing so many things differently, honest to goodness. Now, any projects that you need to finish up, things that are laying around that need to be completed. Some of you are crafters or whatever you want to call yourselves. Finish these things up. Get everything neat, get everything straight, do the job, get it done. And wow, there's just so much going on. The universe wants to give you a reward for all of your efforts. In other words, all of this hard work that you've put in, And then not just in crafts and whatever. This is with everything. This is hard work at your job, hard work in your life, hard work with your issues. The universe wants to say, here's a gift. It's an earned gift, okay? It's not just out of the blue like you can have this. You earned this. So, here you are. It's kind of like a mixed bag of feelings in a sense, all right? Maybe a little bittersweet. You've eliminated something. You're eliminating something. And you're kind of like, oh my God, my life has been such a mess. But I still have a life, which is positive. And I have all these other things that are left that are positive. And I can work with them to build a new life. So, this is a good time from what I can see here. I would love to show you all of these. These are the coolest looking cards. But to be able to do for yourself, all right? Even if that means taking a day and going somewhere. I don't care if it's a mani-pedi day, going to the salon, going to the spa, doing something that's for you. In other words, I'm not being specific as to a day here, but, it's part of your reward. It's part of what you have coming to you. You see, your life is finally in what I like to call recovery mode. And have you seen all of the, no, it hasn't all played out because I've been talking about this week. I think that you're finally like where you want to be by like October. All right. You're going to find your way on your way there by like June. So let's keep all that in mind. But there are some very fulfilling feelings this week. So this particular eclipse, all right, and I've spoken about it before, last year was in Pisces, but at the last degree. And last year is really when it all just kind of fell apart for you. And then you spent the remainder, this past year until this eclipse, trying to figure out, well, what am I supposed to do with all this? How am I supposed to do this? So that's what I see here is just cleaning up the mess and then taking a breather. So it may not all be done, but wow, I'm like looking at this. Major change is going to come into your life. For some of you, you're even going to finally be able to, work on the aspects of home. Some of you are moving. Others of you have needed to do things to ensure that your home life is going to be good. So you're working on all of these things. Oh my goodness. And some of you have been also waiting for the opportunity to move. And those of you out there, you know what I mean. It's like you're waiting for that time to say, okay, now I can go look for a place of my own. That type of thing. So, success-wise, wow. This is an extremely powerful week, okay? The crux of this reading is about the major changes that you've made in your life to take your power back. I'm proud of you. This is one of those things that's just, it's beyond amazing because life hasn't been fair. So you've kind of taken and had to pull rabbits out of your hat here, to get this far. But I'm telling you, I've been talking about this for a few days. You get this far and it's like, oh my goodness, look at what I've pulled off. So there are, and I'm seeing this in several places here, there's rewards coming this week. Rewards for your effort, a renewal of, I'm going to say a renewal of faith, of optimism, okay? There hasn't been a lot of optimism as hard as you've tried. It's been like, okay, Cecilia, yeah, I get it. This is changing, that's going to change. But I think finally you're starting to see it, okay? Because like I said, getting rid of that painful thing is not so painful anymore. You just want to be done with it. So let's be done and move along because you have such fantastic energy coming in. I'm looking all over and I'm going, oh my goodness. This is an awesome feeling. These eclipses this month compared to the eclipses of last year where they tore down so much, this year finishes clearing away and gives you that ability to rebuild, okay? and the person that you are going to become. And a lot of you have not wanted to believe this when I've told you, even in personal readings, the person that you're going to become is one who's not going to stand for these things to come into your life anymore. So you're going to lead your life for you. That doesn't mean that you're going to be alone or that you're going to be lonely. It means that as an individual, you're going to have this strength that no one can tear down because you're good as yourself. And that is so important. That is one of the things that always needs to be emphasized the most when it comes to relationships, is how people interact with one another, okay? So you're not going to be someone who in the past, if you were dependent on another person, for your happiness or whatever, that's not going to be the case. You're going to be able to fully enjoy your life with another person when they come into your life, because you have done everything for you up until now, okay? And this is a good thing. This is a really good thing. You're going to be able to see more so in your future. I think your future creates a much freer feeling for yourself. The end of everything is really the beginning. And, the beginning isn't really here quite yet. I don't think so, all right? But I think the movement comes in, like really starting now for so many of you with the eclipse this week, that it's taking you toward that future. I'm just like, this is beyond. You have to stop and think and reflect. What do you want? Because the choices that you make now are going to have such great bearing on everything. Now, one of the things that comes up here is routine, okay? Routine and reliability. And who are you? See, who you are this year is changing, all right? That's one important thing to keep in mind. And you have major celebrations. But here's the thing: it's like you're celebrating the death of that issue, that marriage, that business, that relationship, whatever it is. It's like it's done. Hallelujah! And the stars are shining brightly again. Like you feel like it's not like you're getting your mojo back. But that's a little later on, because this is a gradual thing that you're going to see taking place. But see, finally, with the culmination of this cycle, this was a big cycle in your life that needed to come to an end. It feels like it drug out for too long. For so many of you, it's been since like 2012. And for some, it's even been beyond or a lifetime. So this is that. What do you want? All right? You're being asked to, check your reality. Now, I'm pulling some more cards because, we got in the habit of doing this, and we have to do it every week. But, being realistic with what you want is so important, because you've survived so much. So, what do you do now? You have to make a plan. You have to make a plan. And one of the big things about making this plan is that I think for a long time you've just kind of gone through, like, to get day to day. Like, if I ignore it, maybe it will go away. Well, now it's going away. So, okay, it's time to open your eyes again and see what there is to see. I'm telling you, it's just going to be so much different. The things that you can cut away and the things that will happen, I'm like, oh my goodness. You won't feel like you're defending yourself against the universe anymore. You will feel more like you are standing strong in the universe with others. It's a good feeling. So get ready, because what's happening now, you're very close to rapid developments in your life, all right? Where you're going to see that you're kind of climbing a ladder to success in your life, that type of a thing. There's a lot of things. I've said this before. It's kind of like life is under construction, all right? So you really have to start paying attention to what's going on around you. You can't, see, there have been some things that have been wrong, I know. And a lot of you are not in the same, even financial situation as before. Don't mourn those losses. Keep working on what you have to do, all right? Because you're being taken to where you need to be. I'm telling you, it's just such a powerful week. I can't even begin to keep working at it, though. Keep working at it. Don't think for a moment that because you got this far, that it means your work is done. I mean, you'll be working at this life for the rest of your life. It's not something that's just going to become a piece of cake. So, amazing. But definitely taking your power back. But through your work and your efforts, and you achieve the fairness that you need in your life by utilizing all of the resources that are available to you. I think that's enough. I really, truly do. It feels like a powerful, powerful week in everyone's timeline. So I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you here again next week. Don't forget to come tell me your stories. All right. Take care, everyone.